Welcome to KR Films Entertainment Channel. Today I am going to explain a 2015 fantasy action film called Snow Girl and the Dark Crystal. A long time ago, the earth was separated into three realms: the heaven where the gods resided, the earth where the humans lived, and the underworld where the demons are constantly suffering. The day for the reincarnation draws near, giving demons a chance to appear on the mortal realm. General Zhang from the Celestial Army volunteers to guard after the city of Hu, where the infamous demon lord is located. At the same time, numerous monsters appear in the city and begins attacking everyone on sight, killing the people and taking their souls to the underworld. The demons carry the souls that they stole and lays them inside the dark crystal, where its magic allows them to reincarnate and leave this terrible place. However, a man named Kui steals the crystal while others are not looking, but his strange behaviors are quickly noticed by a lizard demon, who takes away his cloak, revealing that he's a thief. All the monsters quickly become hostile and charges towards the man, forcing him to run for his life. A large demon chases closely after and is able to strike the man, but he escapes just in time at the help of General Zhang, who pulls him away. The lizard demon transforms into a woman and rushes to stop the thieves, but only manages to see them escape. The demon lord is furious at his minions for losing something so valuable, and quickly goes to one of his most powerful lieutenants named Snow, telling her to retrieve the crystal no matter the cost. Back at the human realm, the deity gives Kui some medicine to drink, claiming that it can heal his wounds faster. He tells the man that they must prepare to fight the demons, as the monsters will attack soon after losing their most valuable treasure. He gives Kui a magical fan and sprays the man's blood over the item, causing a transformation that turns the warrior into a giant demon. Kui looks in the mirror and sees the reflection, causing him to fall down in fear. The deity warns him to never transform in front of the people, as they'll surely become hostile after looking at the man's monstrous appearance. Kui begins training under the god's instructions, and soon begins to be able to transform at will. He takes out the enormous sword that's embedded inside his spine and begins sparring with the master, but his movements are still too slow and fails to land a single hit. The deity gives him one more elixir, promising that the medicine will help him recover faster. Back at the city of Hu, the people all bow before the deity, and watch as the old man give the dark crystal to his magical beast called Qilin. Zhang promises the people that they are very close to winning as they now have the dark crystal in their possession. 7 days later, on the night of the reincarnation, the souls taken by the demons would be returned to the people, and their loved ones will be revived. He warns everyone to be wary of the demons as they'll surely attack the city in order to regain their treasure. Sometimes later, many performers arrive to the gates of city and wishes to enter in order to host their show for the people. The men are quickly mesmerized by the girls' female assets while their wives are screaming in their ears. Kui comes to inspect the carriages, and is shocked to see a beautiful woman dressed in all whites. The warrior seems to know the girl from his past, but she refutes the assertion and tells him to call her Snow. Before the woman leaves, Kui grabs onto her hand and comments on how rare it is that she feels so cold, just like someone he knew. The man's very lucky that he's not in the 21st century, as his actions would have landed him in jail by now. It turns out that Kui knows the woman from before, as her painting hangs over his bedroom 3 years ago while studying to become a scholar. The man meets the woman at his front door and immediately fell in love, prompting him to draw a portrait of the girl. She comes back the next day to the man's surprise, and when Kui takes the woman's hand, he comments on how she felt very cold. The two quickly fall for each other as they waste no time before commencing some aggressive cuddling. The woman wants to know whether if a human can love a demon, but the man doesn't think so, not knowing that his lover is in fact from the underworld. She leaves later that night in tears, after realizing that Kui can never accept her for who she is. Back to the present, the performers begin their show as all the villagers gather inside the giant tent, mesmerized by the beauty of the dancers. However, the lizard demon notices that everyone's here except for Kui and informs her sister right away. Snow leaves a letter in the main character's front door, asking him to meet so that she can distract him from her plans. The man arrives at her room and quickly becomes possessed by her beauty, as he misses her greatly in the years that she was gone. The two begins to embrace and prepares for some adult actions, but Kui notices the icicles behind his back, and quickly paralyzes the woman by hitting her special spots. He quickly rushes to the temple where the magical Qilin is guarding over the crystal, and takes the item away from the box, anticipating that the demons will try to steal it tonight. Just like the man predicted, a giant demon arrives into the temple, and the Qilin begins attacking the monster furiously in their battle. Snow has transformed into a demon as well, and proceeds to search for the crystal inside the building. She quickly finds Kui in his demon form guarding the temple and attacks the man from behind, sending him through the rooms. Snow attacks by throwing multiple ice shards at Kui, forcing the man to dodge immediately and barely escapes the onslaught. The woman continues to shoot at the man and eventually nails him on the wall and freezes him in place, as the lizard demon transforms into her true form and arrives in front of the box, not knowing that it's empty already. Kui is able to slowly melt himself out of the ice and begins charging up tremendous amounts of energy, before releasing it in a shock wave, forcing Snow to retreat. At the same time, the Qilin shoots fire from its mouth, forcing the giant demon to run and eventually traps him under a stone pillar. The magical beast rushes towards the enemy and bites on the monster's neck, killing him in the process. The lizard demon brings the box to her master who's been waiting for her return, but when she opens the container, only a piece of rock is inside. Realizing that they've been tricked, the Demon King becomes furious as he transforms into his true form. Meanwhile, Kui hands the crystal to his master, who congratulates everyone that they've won the battle once again. He takes out the performers and ties them onto a pillars, forcing them into their true forms, which turns out to be lesser demons of all kinds. The people begin killing the monsters and sending their souls towards the crystal. Snow becomes furious as she watches from the crowds and begins transforming, trying to kill the deity to avenge her friends' deaths. General Zhang is quickly able to overpower her and forces her back into the human form in front of Kui, as the man watches in shock. He orders his pupil to slay the demon, but surprisingly, the man refuses and kneels before the god, begging him to spare his lover's life. Seeing that his student is defending the enemy, the deity strikes at the demon himself, but Kui jumps in the way to protect the girl. Their attentions are quickly shifted when the demon lord himself arrives at the gates of the city alongside his army of monsters. The soldiers begin to fire numerous arrows at the enemies, but their numbers are too great and the demons manage to easily enter the city as they break down the front gates. The Qilin rushes out from the temple and tries attacking the demon lord, but the creature is quickly defeated by the monster as it gets tossed around and thrown to the walls. The demons continue towards the town center, only to be stopped by General Zhang and Kui. The deity tries attacking the enemies by shooting numerous projectiles, but it wasn't effective as the demon's lord transforms into its true form once again. Zhang sees this and quickly stabs Kui in the chest, forcing the man to transform as well in order to fight off the giant monster. The demon lord chases Kui onto the rooftops as the man runs desperately trying to evade the attacks. The monster jumps towards the main character and tackles him through the buildings, but Kui is able to bite off one of heads on the demon and manages to break free. The warrior runs towards the lake and jumps inside the water, trying to gain the advantage as he lures the demon into a different environment. The monster takes the bait by entering the water as well, which gives Kui the chance to attack him from behind and knock him towards the walls. The demon becomes furious and smashes the ground, causing a large shockwave that devours the main character as he tries to run away. Instead of killing Kui, the monster tries to bring the man towards the surface, but the warrior wakes up and attacks the demon by cutting off his arm. He drags the monster onto the surface and throws him towards the city, causing the demon to crash into the buildings. The creature recovers quickly from the fall and roars furiously as Kui arrives inside the location as well, but surprisingly, he allows the demon to leave as repayment for not killing him earlier, and ignores the orders from his master. The deity is very upset that Kui has disobeyed him and sided with the enemy, ordering the man to kill the snow demon right away. The warrior arrives in the prison where the woman is being tortured constantly by the demon seals. After hesitating briefly, the man frees her by cutting off the restraints and promises to protect her from now on. When they arrive at a house to hide from the soldiers, Kui starts to lose control of himself as the transformation begins to take place. The man laughs maniacally and attacks the woman, pinning her to the ground, but he's quickly stopped by the lizard demon at the order of the demon lord. She gives him the same elixir as the deity did and explains that its true purpose is to calm the man's vengeful spirit. Apparently, Kui has died a long time ago during the final examination to becoming a scholar. The headmaster was bribed by the family of the students, and chose to fail Kui in order to make room for the bribers. The man was framed as a cheater and taken away to executed, leaving his spirit to be restless. He drinks the medicine in order to regain control to his body, and plans to go to the underworld in order to find out the truth from the demon lord. The two arrives in hell and sees numerous demons surrounding them as the demon lord finally appears. The monster tells him that he's nothing more than a vengeful spirit who's been resurrected by Zhang, in order to steal the dark crystal from the demons. He explains that the man was turned into a demon by the deity, as no one but demons can enter this realm. Kui refuses to accept this and attacks furiously, but gets pushed back by the monster's immense aura that causes a large explosion, eventually revealing the demon's human form. Apparently Zhang told the Demon King to attack the city in order to acquire more spirits to help with the demon's reincarnation, but this created tremendous fear in the people. As a result, they accepted the deity as a savior without question. In truth, Zhang wants the dark crystal for himself so that he may suck out the souls of all the demons and humans on the night of the reincarnation, giving him great power that exceeds any gods. The Demon Lord believes that only Kui can save the realms and restore them to order as he was created by using the deity's own power. The demon extracts all his energy and gives it to the warrior, so that he may save all the demons from being destroyed. The next day, Kui goes in the city and tries to warn the people about their god, who's planning to use them as sacrifices for his own ambition. However, no one believes the words that he says, especially after he defended the snow demon and helped her escape. Suddenly the deity arrives and everyone bows in honor of their god, but Kui charges forward in anger and continues to blame Zhang for the evil doings. The deity uses magic and tries to force the man to transform, while all the people begin throwing rocks at Kui, believing that he's the true villain. The people's animosity causes Kui to lose control and transform into his demon form that frightens everyone around him. The soldiers begin shooting arrows at the main character, causing great damage as he has nowhere to run. Luckily, Snow arrives in time and summons an ice storm that blocks the view, while taking her lover away from danger. Kui is furious for being called the villain and screams in rage, causing a large explosion inside the lake. He runs helplessly away from the city, and refuses to face the truth, but Snow chases him behind and eventually calms down the man using her embrace. She tells her lover to not feel ashamed as he's done everything right, but Kui doesn't believe that it matters as they'll all be killed by the dark crystal very soon. The two embraces closely as Kui finally falls unconscious from the exertion. When the man wakes up later that night, he finds that Snow has left already, most likely to stop the deity from destroying the people. At the same time, Zhang unleashes the dark crystal upon the city, and the souls of the people are sucked away one by one into the sky. However, his ritual is interrupted by Snow, who arrives to stop the evil god from continuing the madness. She mocks the deity for being a false god and begins to attack him furiously using her ice powers, but Zhang counter quickly and wards off the elements. Snow transforms into a demon and charges towards Zhang, as the god tries to stop her using his magic. The woman manages to throw the crystal into the air, and rushes forward, trying to take the stone away from the deity. Zhang flies quickly into the sky and traps her using his magic before Snow can grab onto the crystal. He conjures lightning from the sky and directs it at the demon, striking her with tremendous power and causing her to be paralyzed in the air. Kui smashes through the gates and rushes into the building, only to see that a battle has already occurred. He jumps on the rooftop and sees that Zhang has trapped his lover in a sealing technique, which causes him to be consumed in rage. Kui transforms violently and grabs onto the god, smashing him around like the Hulk and kicks him in the air like a rag doll. He charges towards the flying deity and attacks him furiously, punching him through the buildings as a result. Zhang recovers quickly and strikes Kui with incredible speed, not allowing the man to counter in any way, but the main character soon locks onto the god and charges in with a barrages of punches, forcing the enemy inside his shield. Kui takes out his sword from the back and strikes the god using immense force, cutting open the barrier and splitting the old man in half using a second strike. The deity explodes in the last moment and finally perishes, allowing Snow to be released from her prison as well. The woman falls from the sky as Kui rushes in to catch her, but she's mortally wounded by the previous fight. Snow tells the man that she'll always love him and dies in his arms, while Kui screams in agony after seeing his lover disappear forever. The souls all begin to return to the people as they finally realize who their true savior is, but Kui walks away emotionlessly no matter how much he's praised. He returns the crystal to its rightful place and restores balance between the realms. The king of all deities offers him a place in heaven, but Kui refuses in silence, realizing that gods are nothing more than hypocrite in the end. He jumps into the underworld and transforms into his true form, finally embracing his identity as a demon. Thanks for watching.